today's Sunny 95.
Welcome to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the show that brings you man-on-the-street interviews, celebrity guests, groundbreaking research, and heartwarming stories about the reasons we smile. Our show is also known as everything you've always wanted to know about dentistry, but were too numb to ask. Hello, I'm General Dentist Dr. Kvitko, and thank you for joining me today.
The following views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of this station, its staff, management, or parent company. To hear a replay of this show or one of the great shows that previously aired, log on to thereasonswesmile.com or iTunes, keyword Dr. Kvitko or The Reasons We Smile. Listeners should not use Dr. Kvitko's comments and advice in place of an actual dental exam.
Brighten your life with a smile that shows the professional touch of Dr. Kvitko.
Time now for The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Call 459-9769 to discuss your dental issues. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kvitko.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Reasons We Smile. I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode number 559, and it's called 10 Things That Make You Go Ouch and 5 Things That Don't But Probably Should. All right, so before we get started, let me remind you, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr. Kvitko, and if you please go to my office Facebook page and like us, that would be awesome. Also, all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com, and we are streaming live on Facebook. Okay, so that's really cool. Oh, and also, we're going to give away free flowers from DeSantis Florist in about 10 minutes, so you might want to pre-program into your phone 614-459-9769, 614-459-9769. In about 10 minutes, you're going to have a chance to call in and win free flowers. And all you have to do is listen, pay attention a little bit about the show, what we're saying, and you'll be able to call in with the right answer. Okay, we try to make it simple because we know it's early. All right, so as I mentioned, 10 things that make you go ouch and 5 things that don't but probably should. We're going to start with trauma. Trauma such as being hit in the mouth with a baseball or a football shoe cleat, something like that. The actual football shoe cleat happened to me this past week. Had a young man called in, kind of a last-minute add-on emergency. Somebody must have thrown a shoe in the locker room. He plays football locally. And the cleat hit him in the tooth. He wasn't wearing his helmet or anything. They were in the dressing room, right? So it smashed his gum. We took an x-ray. We wanted to make sure he hadn't cracked the root up under the gum line or in the bone. He had not. The tooth was not chipped. And it looks like it's going to be fine. Although I did warn him that when a tooth doesn't break, if it's absorbed a blow, that tooth is more likely to develop an abscess later on down the road to actually have the nerve die and need a root canal than one that breaks, because it absorbs the entire blow. So I just had to give him that little heads up. Made him a little nervous, but I said, not to worry that much. Nothing you can do about it anyway. There's nothing you can do to stop it. So, well, that's not true. I did tell him, you know what? Because of the inflammation, if it's inflamed in there, it can cause it to cut off its own blood supply. So I told him, go ahead and take either aspirin or ibuprofen every 6 hours for the next week to kind of control that inflammation that might be going on inside his tooth, and he should be fine. We don't know for sure, but he should be fine. So trauma, being hit in the mouth with a baseball or football shoe cleat, is one. Another one is biting into a piece of food with something unexpected inside, such as a stone or a bone. Have you all done that? I mean, it's like, oh, and instantly you open your mouth, and then your tooth kind of aches a little bit, and you're afraid of what you've done to it. Did I break it? Did I chip it? Did I kill it? It's really disconcerting, and I've done it. I'm assuming most of you have. And so you get this pain, and ironically, unless you've actually cracked your tooth or broken your tooth, or chipped it, you don't really need any care. But that one really makes you nervous because you have this dull pain, and it aches for a little while, and it like right away, right after it happened. And of course, I've actually had it happen where I had an old root canal that hadn't been completely finished. The dentist couldn't find the third canal, so I was wearing a kind of a pseudo-temporary filling with the porcelain that was still left over in there after the drilling for the root canal. And a piece of that porcelain broke off. It wasn't really well supported because it was kind of in a temporary mode. And that's what I bit down on. And I thought it was in the food. It wasn't. And a lot of times people tend to want to blame the restaurant because their tooth broke. And if you look closely, it wasn't that. It was your tooth or your filling or something. Anyway, okay, so that is number 3 or 2 of the things that you might want to that will make you go ouch, and that you might want to remember. Number 3 is biting into something very cold. It's kind of like brain freeze for your teeth, right? And I don't understand to this day, I don't think anybody does, why sometimes we can bite into something cold and we don't feel a thing, and other times we do, and it gives us that, brain freeze, right? Brain freeze of your tooth. So that'll hurt. And typically, if your pain from the coldness, it should go away within a few seconds. If you have pain that continues from cold for minutes, you probably have an issue. You probably should see your dentist, because that could mean that you have a developing abscess or something, more serious going on with that tooth. Okay, now, I just realized the piece of paper that fell when we came on the air is the one that has my list. So, you're going to get it? My producer's going to grab it. I had the first 3 memorized. Thank you. Okay, number 4, TMJ syndrome. TMJ syndrome. So, like, if you wake up and your jaws are sore, and, or you just, during the day, you just have this soreness, like, right in front of your ears, on the temple, well, your TM joint, TM stands for temporal mandibular joint. The temporal muscle, or the side of your head. I think we all know where our temple is. That's what it's referring to. And where it comes together with our mandible. Okay? So TMJ pain can be very significant. It can be debilitating. It can be so much so that you can't really chew solid food. And that's a sign that you need some help. Usually the help that I provide for people is a bruxism appliance. And what we do with those, it looks like a night guard, and let me just tell you folks, it's not a night guard. This happened on Friday. Woman came in, she needed one. My sub-hygienist, asked me, and maybe she did it on behalf of the patient, because I'm thinking the patient might have said something to her when I wasn't in the room, said, well, can she just go to the drugstore and get one of those boil and bite ones? One of those, like mouth guards that people get to play sports that are cheap, $3. And I said, no, that actually makes it worse. So I'm not sure if the hygienist really thought that would work, or if she was doing it so that I would give my answer and the patient would hear my answer and not be thinking I'm going to the drugstore to buy one. If you have one that isn't properly adjusted, ground in as I talk about it, it can make it worse. What the real one does, the one that we make, is it deprograms the muscles so that they can relax and you stop having that pain, because the pain is oftentimes kind of like getting a Charlie horse in your jaw joint, one side or both. Kind of like a muscle cramp. You know how sore those can be? I've gotten them in the middle of the night where I get this cramp and I have to like straighten my leg and it hurts and I'm like moaning. It's just terrible. So I've actually had that syndrome and I've worn a bruxism appliance myself. I can tell you that you only have to wear them for somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 weeks. Maybe not even that long for some people. And then you just keep it in a drawer until you need it again. So it's actually pretty neat. Okay, so that was number 4. Number 5, where a tooth has developed a small crack. Remember, these are the 10 things that make you go ouch. We're going to cover the 5 things that don't, but probably should in a little bit. So anyway, when a tooth has developed a small crack inside and you don't know it. So what happens is, when you bite into something, you get a sharp pain in that tooth. And so where does the pain come from? If you're developing a crack, that one corner, that cusp, flexes a little bit. It moves a little bit. And it actually kind of goes all the way down into like a fault line, down into where the nerve is. And then when it snaps back, it kind of pinches the nerve. So you get this zing, but it doesn't last very long, and it only happens when you chew. Well, that's a sign that you probably have a tooth that's cracking. Not cracked completely, but cracking. And you need to come in, because it used to be we would just have to tell you, well, we think you have a cracked tooth, but we don't know where it's cracked. So when it breaks, we'll fix it. But now we don't have to do that, because now we can figure out which cusp it is, and we can get it fixed up before anything bad happens. So basically the treatment is a crown to hold that tooth together so that cusp can't be flexing. Okay, so that was number 5. Let's see how we're doing on time. Oh, we have time for one more probably. Okay, another one is a tooth abscess. All right, when you have a full-blown abscess in most cases, you have full-blown toothache. Okay, a pounding toothache, one that, beats with every heartbeat. It's just debilitating. You can't think, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can barely talk, okay? When you have that, you're either coming to the dentist, coming to me, or you're going to the emergency room. And by the way, emergency rooms don't do dental. They don't know anything about teeth. My physician thinks that we have 34 teeth and we only have 32, just to give you an idea. They don't really learn the mouth like we do. So all you get there is palliative care. So if you're better off to find a dentist that can take care of you. And just yesterday, I got one of those form submissions on the website. You know how you can just request an appointment on our website now? So it was emergency toothache care. So I called the gentleman, and it was just a couple minutes after I got the thing. It comes up on my phone, and he says, "Oh, thank you so much for calling me." He says, "I was able to reach my regular dentist, so I'm fine, but I'll definitely keep your number and I'll call you back if things don't work out the way I'm hoping." So, that's what you should be doing, is finding a dentist that can take care of you, save your time and money as far as the emergency room, because all you're going to get, if you're lucky, is pain pills, or you're going to get a note that says, "Go see a dentist." That we see that a lot. And it's not their fault, they just don't know. And so you should keep trying to find a dentist rather than the ER. Okay, so I think it is time now for us to stop and do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. Remember, you're going to have a chance to win free flowers from DeSantis Florist. But before we do the contest, we'd like you to listen to this.
This station will not be held liable for any contesting during The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Participation in the contest allows Dr. Kvitko to record and broadcast your name and call. One winner per household. Prizes are non-transferable, cannot be substituted, and are subject to taxes and fees. This station cannot be responsible for the inability to enter the contest, whether due to equipment malfunction or telephone difficulties. All decisions of Dr. Kvitko concerning this contest or eligibility are final.
And now it's time for Dr. Kvitko's question of the day.
All right, and the question of the day is, today we are bringing you 10 things that make you go ouch and 5 things that don't, but probably should. What are some of the things that make you go ouch that we've mentioned so far? A, trauma from being hit in the mouth with a baseball or a football shoe cleat. B, biting into a piece of food or something unexpected inside, such as a stone or a bone. C, biting into something very cold. Or D, all of the above. All right, the winner's going to receive free flowers from DeSantis Florist. The number to call, 614-459-9769. 614-459-9769. So go ahead and call now.
You won't believe it though. I want to hear your mind. And there's nothing else in the world tonight. She said people don't take the time. Hey, people don't take the time.
Hi, I'm Keith Carlos, winner of America's Next Top Model and star of Chocolate City 2. Look for my smile on the big screen this summer, courtesy of Dr. Kvitko. Stay tuned to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of The Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. Did you know that you no longer need to visit several different dental professionals to get more complete dental care? We handle everything from cleanings and orthodontics to restoration, implants, and smile makeovers, all in my office. And now we have 2 locations. Get the most advanced technology and procedures available today. It's more complete dentistry.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
Dr. Kvitko! Let's go!
Hi, this is Richard Simmons. Dr. Kvitko's here, and he's going to help you with all of your problems. Are your teeth yellow? He can fix that. Are you missing a tooth? He can put a new one in. How is that?
That's very good. Thank you, Richard. Okay, we're back. We're doing Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. We have 4 callers on the line. We have Sarah, Gina, Chelsea, and Tom. And we flipped the coin. Came up, what was that, 3? Yep, Gina. Okay. Oh, Chelsea. Chelsea, I'm sorry. Hey, Chelsea, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling in. What's the answer?
D, all of the above.
That's right. Chelsea, what do you do for a living? Yeah, you're the winner.
I am a pediatric nurse. I just worked all night.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Well, hey, thanks for what you do and for working all night even more, you know?
Yes, yes.
Those kids really need you. I've had a couple of kids wind up at Children's before, and so we really appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Stay on the line. We need to get the information where we can send you those flowers, okay?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And the other folks, call back next week, please. All right, so now, if you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode number 559 of The Reasons We Smile. And today we are bringing you 10 things that make you go ouch and 5 things that don't but probably should. And when we left off, the last thing we mentioned was a tooth abscess. The next one is a dead tooth. Now this is different than an abscess because this is one of those teeth that's really hard to figure out because it's dead and yet there's no radiographic evidence yet. The tooth has died, maybe from a blow like I mentioned earlier with the young man that got hit in the mouth with the football shoe cleat, right? So this tooth has died, there's no radiographic evidence, it just aches, you can't really put your finger on it, feels like the whole area hurts. And I have to figure out which one it is, okay? So the way we do it is with an electronic pulp tester. It's this little electronic device that we put, we hold it on the tooth, use a little toothpaste to make sure we're connected, and we just slowly increase the current to a tooth until you feel something like a warm sensation or tingling. It's not pain, I swear, I promise. But anyway, a warm sensation or tingling when you raise your hand. You raise your hand when that happens, we write down a number. We check 3 or 4 teeth all around the area. Sometimes we'll do the contralateral tooth. And so the tooth that is dead, you never raise your hand. We've turned the electricity all the way up and you've never raised your hand because you don't feel a thing there. That's how we know that's where the pain's coming from. So how can you be getting pain on a tooth that's dead, right? Well, it's because the bacteria are getting started up in there and they are building up pressure. It just hasn't eaten away at the bone enough to see. So it's kind of like an invisible abscess, if you will. Okay, another one is an ill-fitting denture. Not just when the denture's brand new and we're still working out sore spots, but when the dentures get loose, they start sliding around, they rub on the gum, they create these things called fistulus epilatus, or epulus, and it's like this bit of tissue that kind of wiggles or wobbles, or it's just kind of a blob of tissue that doesn't belong there, and now it's in the way. And so if you have pain in your mouth while wearing dentures, then you have an ill-fitting denture most likely, and you need to come in and we'll take care of it, okay? Another one, a yeast infection on your tongue, also known as a fungus infection, or candidiasis is usually what it is. And what happens is you can get like a burning sensation all the way down the center of your tongue. It just kind of burns. You don't know why. It doesn't burn just when you're having food or liquids, it just burns. And when we look in there, we see that the yeast has gotten a foothold. It's a white coating on your tooth, and it has basically changed the filiform papilla, those little things that look like, grass, if you can think about the coral reef in Finding Dory. Or Finding Nemo, I mean. I guess they have 2 now, right? It looks like that. And those get irritated, and basically it denudes the back of the tongue, the dorsum of the tongue of those. And so, but that causes the burning sensation. And what we have to do for that is typically we prescribe, it's called fluconazole, okay? Or another type. There are several types. Nystatin's one. But in people where that isn't enough, or giving them fluconazole by mouth isn't enough, then IV fluconazole is usually used. You can also get candidiasis in the esophagus, and the treatment is also fluconazole. So anyway, all right, another one is an aphthous ulcer. So this is number 10 of the things that make you go ouch. And granted, there are more, but we don't have time for more. We just don't. All right, I can do more next week or the week after, whatever. Okay, the 10th one that on my list is an aphthous ulcer, sometimes called a cold sore. But it's not really a cold sore, because a cold sore would actually be number 11, because a cold sore is on the outside, the dry part of your lip. It gets all crusty and everything. And an aphthous ulcer is inside on the mucosal lining of your mouth, or even on your tongue. It's a little white dot, maybe surrounded by red because of the inflammatory response. and it hurts like crazy. Hurts like pins and needles. And here's what happens. You get one, and you can get them from stress. You can get them from eating a lot of acidic foods. People in the fall, maybe like now, tend to eat a lot of the vegetables, like the tomatoes that they just grew, and they want to eat them before they go bad. Well, tomatoes have citric acid in them because they're actually fruits, right? So you can get that this condition from that. And here's what happens though. People take and they put their tongue on it to see if it still hurts. It's like, yeah, that still hurts. So don't do that. And if you come in to me, what we typically do is we prescribe what is called magic mouthwash, which is a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio of viscous lidocaine, Maalox, and Benadryl. And that'll just soothe it and make it go away a little faster, and it's better than trying to go it alone. All right, so that covers the 10 things, actually I threw in 11, that make you go ouch. And when we come back from the break, we're going to do the 5 things that don't, but probably should. All right, so stay with me. You're with Dr. Kvitko, The Reasons We Smile, episode 560. Yep, 560. No, I think I said it wrong. It's I think it is 560. I just wrote it wrong. Yeah, it's 560. The big one's wrong. I guess I got it wrong. I have it like correct in 3 parts on my outline and wrong on 1. Okay. Anyway, we'll be right back.
You can't take me as I am, not just a little bit. I don't know who to be. I'm a paper cup, baby of the sea. I know you see it too, 'cause you're too much for me.
This is Clark Kellogg. Stay tuned for more of Dr. Kvitko.
Estás escuchando con Dr. Kvitko aquí en su estación favorita.
Hi, I'm Dominique Reichert. Like what you hear? Why not use the show to promote your product or service by becoming a sponsor? Call 614-262-9588 to learn how. That's 614-262-9588. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. I've been honored to help several famous people get a perfect smile, like Keith Carlos and Dominique Reigard from America's Next Top Model, and Ted the Golden Voice Williams from right here in Columbus. Isn't it time you had a celebrity smile? It costs less than you might think, and most of the time, it can be done in one visit. A new smile can make a world of difference.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
I'm Grandpa, and I go to Dr. Kvitko, and I still have all my teeth. Real ones. Where's my glasses?
We're back. We are bringing you episode 560. Just wanted to make that clear. Okay. So anyway, you're with The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, and we are bringing you 10 things that make you go ouch and 5 things that don't, but probably should. We're now to the part that don't. Those things that don't give you pain, but probably should. Oral cancer. Wouldn't it be good if cancer actually hurt? I've seen it. I had this one young man that comes to mind. When he first came in, he said, well, my tongue is like, it feels hard in this area. And the coloration was normal. There was nothing else wrong. And I thought, well, either he bit it and it's swollen, or he has some kind of an infection in there. And so at the time, he didn't have any outward lesion. And so I said, well, let me just see if we can do like a stab incision and see if it's full of pus. If it's not, we'll probably want to do a biopsy or something like that. And by the time he came back for that, he had this this huge like white thing on the side. It was really ugly. It was really obvious it was cancer. And he was just a few days shy of his 30th birthday. And from my understanding, although I've lost touch with him because it was several years ago, that it wasn't going so well. And wouldn't it be nice if cancer actually hurt? Think about it, women, breast cancer. They don't know they have it till they have the mammogram. Or they feel a lump. There was never any pain. I guess there would be eventually if it got really huge, but women don't typically wait that long, and they shouldn't. So of the things that don't give you that ouch, but probably should, I would think cancer would be the number 1. Okay, because this young man didn't have any pain until he had this, until his tongue, he felt the hard spot. Okay, A dentigerous cyst. A dentigerous cyst, well, first of all, a cyst is an epithelial-lined sac. That's all it is. It's a sac lined with epithelium. Epithelium is the outer layer of the tissue that you see in your mouth. And the sac can have anything in it. It can be air-filled, tooth-filled, pus-filled, granulation tissue-filled. If it's a sac and it's lined with epithelium, it's a cyst. Now, a dentigerous cyst, as you might have guessed from the word, is one that has a tooth inside, or teeth matter. Okay? And so oftentimes it's a wisdom tooth, an impacted wisdom tooth. And I have an x-ray in my office of a patient that I saw when I was teaching at the Ohio State University College of Dentistry, where this person had an impacted wisdom tooth that they either didn't know about or ignored, and a cyst grew around it, a dentigerous cyst. It encompassed the entire left side of their jawbone. It just pushed everything else out of the way, and that patient lost that side of the jawbone. They had normal teeth. They thought they were fine. They didn't know they had this. By the time it was discovered on an x-ray, it was too late. So dentigerous cysts don't hurt. And only time you might ever get any sensation is if once it gets really big, you might get like a numbness in your lip or numbness in your tongue, the nerve that's being affected by the cyst. Periodontal disease, we talked about that many times. Periodontal disease, bone loss, does not hurt. You don't know you have it. You might have a sense you have it when you start seeing the gums recede or maybe having bad breath, but for the most part, actually most of the part, periodontal disease does not give you any pain, no indication that you have it. Tooth abscess. If you remember, that was in the 10 that did give you an ounce. Here's the thing. You can have an abscess and not know. You can have an abscess that doesn't give you pain because your body will try to figure out a way to release that pressure I mentioned. It'll burrow its way through the bone, through the gum, and you'll have a little fistula there, a little dripping of pus. And as long as there's no pressure, you get no pain, and you don't even know you have the pus dripping into your mouth. Another one, this will be number 5. Is a cavity in one of your teeth or many of your teeth. And cavities don't hurt. You do not know you have tooth decay from pain. It takes, the only time you're going to know you have a cavity is if it's so deep that you're probably also flirting with an abscess or already have one. Okay, or it's just so rotten that now the tooth has to be extracted. And that's kind of a sad one, right? Because people think they're fine because they don't feel anything. No, I'm fine. I don't have any, nothing hurts. Twice this week, and it was one day right after the other. Had this gentleman, he's been coming for a while. I took some photographs, and I saw a color change on one of his molars. And when I looked, at that, and I said, there's decay under there. I'm not seeing it on the x-ray very well, but I can tell there's decay. I said, you need a filling. His first response was, well, nothing hurts. And my first response was, doesn't matter. I was a little bit curt with him. That doesn't matter at all. Oh, he said. And I said, yep, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to be curt, but it doesn't matter because you have a cavity there. He goes, okay. So we agreed that we would fix it right then. And I numbed him up. We cleaned it out. I stopped halfway through. Once I drilled into the tooth a little bit and I could see all the black crap that was in there, I stopped and I took a picture to show him what I was explaining and what was really going on. He was like, oh, I had all that in there and I didn't even know it. Didn't hurt. I said, well, that's what I said. Next day, another patient, new to me, came from a practice that we purchased a while back, and he too has decay. His very first response was, doesn't hurt. And I said, it doesn't matter. Now, I didn't know him as well, so I had to be a little more judicious, a little more politically correct. But because his first comment after that was, well, I'm going to wait about 6 months and see if things, I'm going to wait about 6 months and see if things get worse. I said, that's not a good plan. That's not a good plan at all. And he goes, oh. And I said, how about you come in, we'll do a consultation, we'll explain what we found, then you can make an informed decision. So we've agreed to do that. He's a busy guy, and he works in healthcare. Okay. So, looks like I'm running out of time. Oh, way out of time. All right. So, let me just say good luck to my wife, my daughter, Mindy. She's getting married on the 14th of this month. And it's going to be a fun thing. We'll all be welcome. Can't wait to see all of my relatives and that sort of thing. So, anyway, we'll talk more about that next week. Looks like I'm out of time. So, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Visit my office Facebook page and like us. Remember, all past episodes complete with video are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kvitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kvitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's 614-262-9588, or send an email to speaking@thereasonswesmile.com.